Hello and welcome. My name is Robin and you're watching Robin Reads. Today I'm going to start another reading vlog because I am very much in reading vlog mode. So I'm just gonna do another one. I will be uploading a lot of reading vlogs this month and I hope you like that. Bit of a new setting, just to change it up a bit. And this reading vlog is going to be all about Stephen King. Stephen King is an author that I have had some trouble with, a rough start, and I want to talk about that and also giving him his last chance, basically. But let me talk about my journey with Stephen King. So the first book I read by Stephen King was A Bag of Bones. And I think you all know that I don't read horror books because I really am, First, I thought I was always very scared, but I'm not really anymore. But I just really don't like horror because I really don't like the gory bit or the zombie stuff, etc. So when I read Bag of Bones, I actually really liked it. It was very well written and I liked the story. But then came the bit that he was in his cabin and there were like sort of a minor spoiler this, but maybe skip on. But then there was this bit that he went outside and there were like zombie ghosts walking towards him. And then I quit the book because I can't handle that. Then the book that I tried a couple of them, don't know the order exactly, but another book that I tried of him was On Writing. I actually really enjoyed that one. I gave it 4 stars or something, I think, and I really liked that one. So I think his non-fiction is for me. Don't know if he has written anything else non-fiction, but yeah, I really like that one. Then I tried to read Under the Dome, I think, and I really didn't like that one. That one was way too slow for me, like way too slow, and he had a lot of change of perspectives, and I didn't like that at all. And yeah, it was just too slow, and the concept was good, but I wasn't that curious to see what was happening because the book itself was also just way too big. So didn't really like that one. Then I thought, why not try his fantasy stuff? So I started with the Dark Tower series. I tried to read the first book, and I know a lot of people had warned me that the first book is not very good, and I agreed. I really didn't like that book. But yeah, I was like, or I am torturing myself to finish this one, which I don't do. I don't like that, so that wasn't an option. Or I'm skipping the first book and am going on with the second book. But I was like, I really don't want to do that. So yeah, didn't do that. So I DNF'd that series and am not reading it. And I think those are all. I have my laptop here. I'm going on Goodreads to see if I'm right. Because I can't remember another book by him that I read, but let me see. And I will also tell you now what I wanted to read by him. And of course about the book that I'm currently reading, aka His Last Chance. Let me see. Yeah, Under the Dome I talked about, On Writing, Bag of Bones. That's it. So, what I'm currently reading by him is The Green Mile. So, this one I picked up from my free little library because someone put it in there. And I saw it and I was like, I was hesitant because I thought, I actually gave up on Stephen King. But I have heard a lot of great things about this book. And I know this is a thriller and not a horror. So I thought, why not try this? So last night I started. I am this far, so like 100 pages into it. And okay, first, what is the book about? This book is about this guy named Paul Edgecombe, I think his name is. And Paul works at this prison, and it's in 1939 or something. And this prison is just a prison for criminals, but they have a part for normal criminals and a part for criminals that will be executed. And yeah, so, and the execution takes place in this like underground room where they have this chair that they call, how do they call it? Nah, I can't remember, but a funny name. And there the people will be executed. And the Green Mile is basically the hallway to that room. And this story, as I said, follows Paul, and Paul works there. And on one day, this criminal comes in. And this criminal is a little bit strange. He really looks weird out of his eyes, in a very far away look, like he isn't really there. And he's very polite and stuff, and just, yeah, basically if you saw him on the streets, you wouldn't know that he did something terrible. Oh, here it says Old Sparky. The Lex show is called Old Sparky, which is pretty funny, I think, but also very awful. But yeah, so that basically follows the story, and Paul is trying to figure out what is going on with this criminal, because again, he's pretty weird. And yeah, you just follow that story because you, from the start, you feel like something happened with that criminal, so during his execution or when he was staying there or something like that, but you don't know. But yeah, we're figuring it out as the story goes along, and Paul is basically telling his story to us. And I really am liking it. The writing style is pretty good. It isn't super thrilling yet. A couple of things were a bit thrilling, but not too much. So I hope it will be, the pace will be picked up. And yeah, the only thing that I don't really like is, and I know that Stephen King is known for that, but the sexual references throughout the whole story, which feel very unnecessary. And I don't like that. You might know that I just don't really like that kind of thing. But yeah, I am enjoying it. So this second chance might be a good one. So now I'm going to talk about if this is going to be a good one. We shall see. Now I'm leaning towards 4 stars, so that's really promising. But we shall see. But what I'm going to read after that, and please let me know what you thought of these books, and if they are horror, first off, because I don't want to read horror, and second off, yeah, if you just like them. So the first book that I know that isn't horror is 2020 1963. I know that is like historical fiction kind of book, a bit of time travel, something like that. So I'm probably going to read that one when I like the Green Mile. Also, I have the first book in the Mr. Mercedes trilogy, so I'm definitely reading that if I like the Green Mile, because I think that one is also more of a thriller. Then one that I'm a bit on the fence about is The Institute. So let me know if that one is more on the thriller side than on the horror side. But I think that one is also good, but that is a more recent one, and I have heard that his more recent stuff isn't super good. One book that I'm also maybe reading is Misery, because I have heard that one is very good, and again, more of the thriller kind. So also let me know if that is true and if that is a good one for me. But yeah, I am really liking this so far, and I'm very curious to see how it goes. And yeah, that's going to be it. So I will talk to you later. Hello, welcome back. So it's Sunday today. A little bit of a different angle again. Hope it's okay. And I want to update you because I'm, yeah, this far in. This I have read. So yeah, a bit over halfway through, and I just want to update you now. So probably tomorrow. I hope tomorrow or the day after I can bring you my final thoughts. But as you can see, I have some couple of things that I want to talk about. So let's get started with those. As I mentioned before, this book is written, I think I mentioned it before, but it looks like it's written by the main character, which is very cool. And I just want to point it out again, which I think it's just, it adds another layer to the story because you also have these, just memories of the writer, basically. The other thing I want to mention is, oh yeah, I want to mention what I mentioned before also, that I am really not liking the sexual bits. And yeah, this is a sentence that really points that out. So I'm just going to read it to you so you know a bit what I'm going through, and also because you know that I don't like it. Having plenty of the latter and just enough of the former, I took her by the hand and led her into the back bedroom and took her clothes off as she stroked the part of me that swelled and throbbed but didn't hurt anymore. And as I moved in her sweetness, slipping through it in that slow way she liked, that we both liked, I thought of John Covey, saying he'd helped it, hadn't he? So, yeah, not really liking that. Then another thing I want to mention is I really don't like in books when they... I mentioned this before also, I think, but I don't like things when they... in books when they write how people talk. For example, this sentence over here. Never heard that one. So it says, never heard every single hair on that boy's pretty head, so don't you go sticking me down in that goddamn soft room again. So this one is not that difficult, but there are other ones that are a bit difficult, and I just really don't like that, because then I don't get what they're talking about. Yeah, what I also don't really like in the story is that he, because I think the main character is basically writing this story, and he's an older person now, I think like 80. He is remembering things, but what is really annoying that he mentions things twice or even 3 times, which is pretty annoying for the reader. Oh yeah, that I also I need to look up what I thought. So I really like the way Stephen King writes. For example, his his, how do you call it, his description of characters. For example, this one. He was wearing jeans and a cheesy looking western style shirt. In one hand was the remains of a Danish he'd hooked out of the kitchen. He'd been standing on the eave, eating it where he wouldn't get wet. And yeah, just I really like the way he describes characters. and it just gives a real taste on how those characters are. Let me see. Yeah, what I also really like is that he, sort of, how do you call it, foreshadows things. So, for example, here he mentions he thinks you've got a secret. She paused. So do I. So he drops this sentence, and this is about when the main character is older. So when he's older, he has a secret, and that's just really cool how he does that, because then you first want to know more about that secret, but there were also other parts where you just want to know more about what's going on, because he just drops these little bit of information, and I really like that. So that's what I want to mention. What I also want to mention that I don't really like is, so you have these parts in the book, and at the beginning of each part, the main character Paul is old again, and he, you just go to him when he is writing the book, basically. But then, when that chapter is done and he is writing again, you first get a page, maybe even more than a page, of something that has already been said in a previous chapter, which is really annoying, and it's actually the same page that was the ending of the last chapter. So yeah, I don't know why he chose to do that, but that's really annoying me. Then the last thing I want to mention was, this crazy scene that happened. And this is exactly actually what I was looking for in this book. Because I really like thrilling parts, and this one I really liked. So I told you what the story was about, I think, but so I'm going to mention it again a little bit more accurate. So this guy, John, is getting into the prison, and no, I'm not going to mention that, but this guy, Edouard Delacroix, is in the prison, and he needs to be executed. But one guard is, really doesn't like him, because he, made fun of him in some way. So this guard really wants to get things right with him, basically, and just take revenge. And how he does this is, so these guys get executed. That's the basic premise of the story, basically, that the Green Mile is the walk to the execution place. And Edouard is going to be executed. And what this guard does is, when you are executed, you are going in this chair called Old Sparky, which is very funny. And Old Sparky is an electrocution chair. And what they do is they put this hood on your face and leave a little cap over here free. And then a little cap goes on your head. And on your head they do something that's called brine. This stuff that basically leads the electrocution part into your brain. So therefore only your brain gets fried, basically. And what this guard doesn't know is what happens when you don't do the brine part. But he doesn't do the brine on Edouard. Therefore something goes horribly wrong. And I'm not going to say what, but that part was super well written and was super gruesome, and that was just really good, and I'm really enjoying it. And another thing, there's something a little bit weird in the book, which I'm not sure what I think of it yet, but it's did a bit fantasy, magical realism part, and I'm not sure if I am liking that. So I will just let you know for my final thoughts if I like it. Um, but yeah, those were my thoughts. All my tabs are out of the book now. And yeah, I will update you when I have finished the book. Hi, hello. So this is going to be the last update I'm going to do for The Green Mile by Stephen King. I finished this last afternoon, yesterday afternoon. And yeah, final thoughts. I have some notes I want to yeah, go over, and after that I'm just gonna do final yeah, thoughts and rating and stuff. So what I really like in the book is that Stephen King references a lot of things. One of the sentences here is, "They say dead men tell no tales." If you know, you know. But he also mentions Christmas Carol a couple of times, and also just other books and stuff. And I really, really enjoy that when authors do that and yeah, pay homage. I don't know if that's English, but homage to other authors, and I just really like that. And yeah, the next one is a sentence that I want to mention that I found very weird. And yeah, these things that Stephen King does, I don't really like, but this is one of those sentences. "Writing is a special and a rather terrifying form of remembrance, I've discovered. There is a totality to it that seems almost like rape." So, yeah. Very weird sentence, and yeah, just no. And here there was another reference to Gone with the Wind, which was pretty funny. Then the next tab. Let me see what it's about. Yeah, he references a lot of racism in this book, and I personally think that was pretty well done, because um, he mentions it in a way that it is, yeah, how do you call it? That it's, yeah, for that time, it's, yeah, pretty logical that they use these kind of things. For example, after all, he's only a Negro, I mean, and it's not like they're going to burn a white man for it. So I think that it's also a little bit of yeah, discussion on that, and I think yeah, he did well on that, as far as I can tell, of course. But yeah, I like those little bits in there, because yeah, really this story is also about that and about racism. What I also liked is his talk about God and yeah, religion and stuff, and yeah, that was basically all the notes that I got in like this part of the book. So now let's talk about what my final rating will be, and yeah, what I thought overall of the book. So my thoughts overall were that this was a pretty good book. I really liked the writing style, and also yeah, the story itself, especially also the really thrilling parts I really liked, and I also really liked the pace of it. The characters were very good and very well built, I think. And yeah, just a pretty solid book. And the things I didn't really like were, I think this one was published in like a magazine. So it was published in the 6 or 7 parts that it's written in. And what I didn't really like, I think they could have left that out of the book. He, I mentioned this before, that he took like 1 or 1.5 pages of the last chapter and put that in the next part, so you sort of could remember what it was about. But in a book that just isn't necessary, because of course you read it pretty quickly, so therefore that wasn't necessary. So I would have liked them to cut that out. And what I also didn't really like were the sexual references in this book, and yeah, that was just really annoying to me. And yeah, but overall, just a pretty good book. I'm going to give it 4 stars, and I'm definitely going to read another of Stephen King's books, which was pretty surprising to me, as I mentioned my journey with him before. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to read the next book. Again, let me know down below which of the ones I mentioned is good for me to read. I am leaning towards Misery. But yeah, otherwise maybe one of the other books. Just let me know down below. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video. And I really hope you liked this video. And please give it a thumbs up, comment and subscribe. And I'll see you later.